TC Media.
Vibe out to it.
Yeah. Keep listening to it because it gets you in that vibe.
On Station Head.
Everybody, I go by the name of Jay Humble. I'm an R&B/pop artist. I'm also an entrepreneur/model/actor. Yeah, man, I'm originally from San Diego, California. Arkansas is home. I went to college in Mississippi, so I was in Mississippi for about 5 years. I also played college basketball. Now I'm in Dallas, Texas.
What? First of all, you're
Yeah.
a jack of all trades. Like, I knew you was major, but I didn't know you was major like that. So before we get into the music, I want to dig a little deeper and back up a little bit. Tell us more about your sports career.
Oh yeah, I actually, basketball still is my first love. I had been playing basketball since I was like 5 years old. So when I got out of high school, I played for Arkansas High. And once I graduated, I got a scholarship to go play at East Central Community College, JUCO. I played there for 2 years, and then I got another scholarship to play my last 2 years at Mississippi College.
Wow. Okay. So
which is right down the street from Jackson State.
So I had no idea about this basketball career and journey. How was that a life-changing experience for you?
It was a big, huge life-changing thing for me because I actually wanted to go play in the WNBA. That was really my passion. So I was doing it, or either it was going to be the WNBA or go and play overseas. And I was doing everything, that I was, as much as, I put in the work for music, I was doing the same thing for my basketball career because that's really what I wanted to do. So, yeah, it was a life changing, but, at the same time, when I entered into the music industry, I feel like it's the same thing. You still being able to touch lives. So I feel like God just had a different turn for me, a different path for me.
And obviously that worked out for you because look who you are and what you've done so far. So again, we still digging deeper. We back here. We didn't even get to the current you yet. So I want to know about a little more about your childhood. Like, how did your childhood and growing up affect your artistry at all?
To a certain extent, I guess that I'm older. It was a lot of things I didn't understand with my parents being pastors. But I feel like with that background, it really set the foundation of where I am now. Because you see other kids going out to the clubs or they pulling up at the gas station after the games and stuff. And, you want to, and you gotta go.
Listen, I feel you. Because obviously growing up when I was younger, I was in the church heavy too. Yeah. So,
a lot of things, we couldn't just do as we seen other people doing because, like you said, we got to be at church. We got to do what mom and daddy say.
Okay. And you better not wake up late on Sunday. That's what you better not do.
You better not.
Like, all right, you had this Saturday, and I feel like growing up as you get older, you start to see how much your foundation plays a part in who you are as a person.
Yes.
So again, with that being said, your parents, heavy in the church, they're ministers. I want to go into fashion. Because you're a fashion icon. I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm gonna tell it for what it is. And you do have some inspirations, but obviously growing up in a church and still getting older and creating your own lane for yourself. Does your fashion reflect your music or who you are right now, what you stand for? Or does it more, do you stick to more of your foundation of, we got to cover up and we got to wear the dresses to our ankles?
To a certain extent, I actually went through that phase of seeing other women, with their body parts out and stuff like that. And, my mom preached about integrity,
right.
And, just because you see other people doing it don't mean it's for you.
Right.
So I had to go through this stage of course, making them mad, because I want the rest of what I'm saying that I'm feeling that's in style. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really had to figure out who J Humble was.
Right.
You know, and you know, it ain't nothing wrong with rocking the heels, no, none of that. But that ain't me.
Right. And
you know?
and again, when it comes to fashion and it comes to foundations, it's so crazy because and you hear it now with certain artists, like we grew up with them on Disney Channel and now they're like sex symbols. And did you ever have that feeling where you're like, do I stick to my roots or do I just become me? And if I make somebody upset in the process, then it's okay because I'm learning who I am and what I want to do.
So I went through that stage because I was just like, sex is, like you said, sex sell. So,
Right.
you know, I know I got a pretty face. I know I got a pretty smile. You know what I'm saying? So if I maybe show a little skin here and there, I'm in there. You know?
Right. Right.
Hey, what really sets you apart from the ones that's already doing it? That's what they used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So find what's gonna separate you from the rest.
And that's what makes you so different. That's what makes you unique. So of course you have a couple icons that I could not take my mind off, such as Teyana Taylor, who I just went to go see Sunday, and let me tell you, I cried when I saw her. I cried, but there's so much of you that reminds us of Teyana Taylor. How did Teyana Taylor encourage your fashion, and when did it start? Like, you know, I really look up to this.
Man, you know, I think the most important thing about Teyana Taylor that I feel like a lot of people don't really know is that it took her 10 years to really get on. And I was following her when she was on SoundCloud.
What? My Super Sweet 16, like
Super 16, yeah. And I'm just like, you know, everybody was asking like, why this girl ain't already on? Because she talented. I'm talking about from being a director, like you said, to being a stylist, to her fashion, all the above, acting, all that. And then she do a lot behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I felt like though some of that is also unique or a part of what as my story, you know. So I gravitated to Teyana because she's so passionate and she's so genuine. I got the pleasure to meet her one time. Somebody had sent me an invite or let me know that she was going to be in town. And I said, I didn't care what I had to do to get beside her, to get a picture.
Okay.
And that night I was.
and it's so crazy because I love, this is what another thing that attracted me to want to get to speak to you. Again, Teyana Taylor is such a mogul. I don't care what anyone says, she's a mogul. She's made a stamp. And this was the first event I've ever not had front row seats to. I wasn't the photographer for the event. This was my like first real concert since I was 12 without me having to work it. And she came out and I was stuck. And then she started crying and I started crying. She was faking the whole time. Like she was literally faking to bring out the next song. And I'm there like literally wiping my tears trying to figure myself out because why am I crying over Teyana Taylor? And that's the effect she has on people. Do you feel like your music will eventually have that effect on people, or do you feel like it has it now that you can change somebody's emotions?
I feel like it has gotten there. And we're gonna take it back to Saturday. I actually had my watch party for a Vibe music video that I will on Friday. So this is the first time I ever experienced the people that was there, the love that I got. And, you know, when I came up and I played Whiskey on Ice and I went into Loving Me Up, everybody knew the lyrics to them words, to them songs.
And that's such a great feeling. That's an amazing feeling. And I want you to always have that feeling, of course. And I can't, you know, wait to get into Whiskey on Ice. So as we're speaking about it, I know you're dropping those visuals. And from what you posted for Whiskey on Ice, It's given Tiana Taylor, Bear With Me, but it's given J Humble, like, this is my stamp. And I see that you go hard for yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't follow J Humble on Instagram, you really need to. You go hard for yourself, whether nobody's watching or hundreds of thousands of people are watching. But you are going hard for Whiskey on Ice. Can you tell us more about Whiskey on Ice and why is this so important to you?
Man, so Whiskey on Ice was actually like one of my, I say like third track that I did in the beginning of my music career. And I was actually presented the song, and shout out, to the people behind that song, and shout out to G Dot for actually being one of the original ones on Whiskey on Ice, and it was presented. So I was just like, this was a come out song.
What?
Whiskey on Ice was, yeah, and that's why it's so passionate to me, and it feels like a baby to me, because Whiskey on Ice was able for me to actually bring out another side that really don't nobody or haven't seen of J Humble. So it was just like, okay, bet. Let's really let's really put our stamp on who J Humble is.
And you just told a story through your music. So if you don't mind, I want to get into Whiskey on Ice. Do you mind if I let the people hear Whiskey on Ice?
Rock it out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Whiskey on Ice by J Humble. And if you are just tuning in, we have J Humble on air. And thank you for tuning in to TC Media. J Humble, Whiskey on Ice, that's a banger.
Hey.
In every aspect, that's a banger. I want to get into the visuals on that, because I am a videographer. How is that process, the directing process? How did those visuals come about? It's a dope video.
Man, shout out to MJ and shout out to Jay Dyer. They are some dope directors. If y'all want to tap in with them, they are here based in Dallas. Honestly, I was just looking for some good quality videos. Like, I feel like for you to really take your career serious, for people to take you serious, you gotta invest. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I shot Hesitation. Shout out to my team behind that. And I also shot Catch a Fade. But we was just like, we really got to start putting out, some quality videos for people to really take us serious. Mm-hmm. And so when we got with them, and they came up with the treatment. They talked to me about, how I felt about the record and exactly what I wanted to do. And then you got Whiskey on Ice, man. Like, they did a great job putting it together.
You all did a great job, because I'm telling you, it's
good. Yeah.
The visuals make it better. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to emphasize on what you said, J Humble. As an artist, as a creator, as a creative, you have to invest. You have to invest. And visuals play such a major part in your craft. How serious do you take your visuals, or did it take you a while to realize that you needed to put a face behind your lyrics?
Yeah, I mean, like, I really didn't understand like how important people want to see visuals. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool, that you're putting out music and all that, but people want to see who's the person behind this music. And you're right. Like, when we go watch a movie, or when we see, different people, promoting this, okay. But once you put a visual together, that brings the song out even more.
I feel like great visuals make the song better. There's been songs I couldn't stand, and I watched the video, I'm like, oh, I like this.
You're like, oh,
that was kind of hot. And then, you always have those people going back, you said you hated it. Nah, but that was before I saw the video.
Yeah.
So again, in the comments, let me read you some of them. Vince Bracey says, nice, a lot of fire emojis going up for you. And They Love Dave says, the visuals will definitely draw attention, and that's a fact. And
appreciate
you, my friend, get an A+ for visuals, and your whole team that's behind that, because let me tell you, you remember back in the day when 106 in Park was lit and you couldn't wait to see a video.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like you kept that and was like, all right, watch this. And then you dropped such a dope video. So I want to get into your plans for 2022. What's in
So,
store? Like,
so like we didn't started it off with having the watch party for Vibes. So man, y'all got a whole bunch of visuals coming this year. I got a whole album that's out right now. It's been out for a year, so that's what I'm really focusing on. Is just giving the people the visuals behind every last 11 tracks that I got on my album, which is humble. So we're dropping Vibe visuals on Friday. So y'all, stay tuned and y'all look out for that. And man, I honestly want to thank God that I actually got my first movie placement. So shout out to Bid for Love, and Lawana, London Williams for helping me out with that. So y'all stay tuned for Bid for Love coming in March. So I do got a soundtrack in that, and so we're getting ready to also do some tours. So we got a lot of stuff coming.
Yes, and I hope within that you're coming to the tri-state.
Oh yeah.
You're coming to
the
Of course we are. Listen, I'm gonna be right on that stage. Like, remember I did the interview? Wait, I'm about to do your recap video right now. So right now we're gonna open the floor to all our listeners, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a question for Jay Humble, please let us know before we get into Pass or Play. Pass or Play is my favorite part of the show. Jay Humble, welcome to your first Pass or Play. I don't know if you're gonna play this anywhere else, but Pass or Play is where TC Media or TC myself, I play a song from an indie artist. And you let me know if it's trash and you're gonna pass, or you're gonna let me know if you're gonna play this and turn up with your friends before we get to the club. I'm gonna get into some more of your music right now, and then we're gonna get into obviously Pass or Play. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Act the Fool. Obviously one of my favorite songs. Somebody said, Jay, you bodied this. Shout out to Dave. Vince Bracey just watched a video and says hard with a bunch of emojis. And then Dave again says, Act the Fool is a club turn up song. What?
Because I act the fool.
We lit. Jay Humble, it has been a pleasure having you on air. Please tell the people where they can follow you and anything else. Do your shout outs,
Man, first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to TC Media for having me. Y'all are my first interview of 2022, so I appreciate you guys. I want to give a shout out to my management team, give a shout out to my parents, give a shout out to everybody just out there really showing me love and continuing to support me. You guys can follow me on my Instagram at JHumbleOfficial. You can follow me everywhere on every platform, from music to Facebook to everywhere. Google me, Jay Humble, Jai.
And before I let you go, is there any question in the whole wide world that you have for me, TC?
Ain't no question, baby. Just keep doing your thing and much love.
I appreciate that so much, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Again, thank you so much for coming up here and giving us a little insight about who you are, what you do, and where your music is going. We are so proud of you. Keep inspiring, keep writing, and keep those visuals coming. Like, I'm a videographer and I'm looking at your visuals like, I need to step my cookies up before they crumble. And I'll see you soon on the road.
All right.
You have a good one.
All right.